Before we get started with today's episode, I want to point out that I am extremely unhappy with the photos that came out of this. I'm unhappy with the footage that came out of it. I mean, not entirely. The footage is still pretty good. It's of good quality and everything. It's just, I don't think I got enough B-roll, to be perfectly honest with you. I've learned a lesson with this particular outing. I learned that you can never have enough B-roll. I did a lot of shooting in 60 frames per second so that I could do slow-mo and everything on some stuff, but I think I did too much. So most of my B-roll is all in 60 frames per second. Granted, I don't have to put it into slow-mo, but it looks a little wonky if you don't. And where I'm also using a rather old, outdated computer that struggles a bit with Premiere Pro anyway, running 60 frames per second at full speed really bogs down the workflow. I'm trying to avoid, at least with this particular set of footage, running too much of it at full speed so that I can actually get through this. So this is going to be a short video. I decided to go ahead and make this video because there are a few things, even though I'm not happy with how everything came out, there are a few bits of this that I don't cover in the next few episodes. And spoiler alert, there will be 3 episodes on this location, followed up by more episodes on other Tennessee state parks. I realized that there's very little in the way of videos or anything on YouTube that talk about any of our state parks, and we have some absolutely gorgeous ones. So I wanted to take the opportunity to highlight some of them. This particular one is the newest of the Tennessee state parks. Well, I'll tell you all about that in the video. Anyway, I've talked enough. I'm going to shut up now and let you get on with the video. Alright, today we're out here in Rocky Fork State Park, again in East Tennessee. If you haven't noticed yet, I live in East Tennessee, so yeah, kind of a theme going on. There's a lot of stuff around here to go look at. I have never been to Rocky Fork Park yet. Of course I have now, since I'm standing here. But so far, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just breathtaking. Hopefully I can show that a little bit of that to you. We'll see how it goes. Come along for the ride. Alright, we're setting up for our second composition. Again, I would love to have some better light here, but we're just not going to get it. Our partly cloudy day has become very overcast, but we're set up on a creek. There's a little waterfall off in the distance. River right, that would be our left. Kind of got a little chute coming off. On the right hand side you can see where there was a pour over, but there's a lot of ice on it right now. It makes it real interesting because you got 2 different things going on either side of this one big boulder right in the middle of the river. We've got a large boulder coming in from the left. I'm just barely catching that on the edge of my photo. I'd like to get a little bit more of it, but it's just not going to quite work the way that I want to if I try to get any more of it. But I do have a medium-sized boulder right here in front of me that's going to be in the foreground, keeping it slightly out of focus. but just slightly. I've got the aperture set at f8. A 13th of a second. I may end up fiddling about with that a little bit. I'm going to see what it does for that water. See if it smooths it out real nice. I'm on a 10-second timer. Make sure everything's nice and steady. Let's see what we get. I'm doing another shot with a slightly longer exposure. I've dropped my aperture down to 16, and I've got a 1/3 of a second exposure. See if that does what I'm wanting it to do with the water. Again, 10-second timer. All right, that gave me the effect I was looking for. I didn't quite have enough of it with my first exposure. I still don't know if this is going to be as good a shot as I want it to be. It would be so much better if we had the light, but you got to work with nature. So, when you're walking down a trail, come across a sign that says bridge with an arrow pointing in another direction. You have to ask yourself, why? Well, apparently we've got to cross the creek, and there's the creek crossing without the bridge. So bridge it is. As you can see, we've had to shed a few layers. It's getting hot now. Even with the sun not being out and all this ice around us, it's warm. But we've stopped for another composition. Right here at a little creek crossing, there's actually a bridge right here. I'm set up on the bridge. You can see my camera right there. And I'm shooting this little waterfall and the valley behind me. I think this is going to be real nice. There's a lot of rhododendron bushes and a down tree with some moss on top of it and everything. A lot of clutter in here that I think is going to make it look really nice. Probably end up bumping up the saturation a little bit to bring those greens back out, because I know that they're not going to show up right. I'm going to get my camera set up, composition laid out and everything just like I want it, and we'll take this photo. We're set up about a 1/2 second exposure, f20. I'm zoomed in about 25, 26 mil. 10-second timer. Now we wait. I think that's going to be real nice. Just enough blur on the water to not have it frozen, so to speak, but not so much that it just blurs out completely. Well, let me know what you think. Well, we're setting up for another exposure. Maybe the last one of the day. Not real sure yet. We've made it up the Flint Trail, not a real long way. We've actually been stopping a lot. Just looking at stuff, taking a few shots here and there. Nothing real spectacular, so I haven't really vlogged about it at all. But some shots that I think are pretty interesting. Don't know that anything's going to come out of it. Anyway, we're in a clearing here. Can't be 100% sure because I haven't seen any signs, but I believe this is the battleground area. The battleground area here is what that's all about. is there was a camp of Creek and Cherokee Indians in this location where we're standing right now. They were surrounded and ambushed by Colonel John Sevier, who later became the governor of Tennessee. Big battle commenced, and well, people lost their lives right here in this location. But beyond that, the composition that I'm going for is we've got a stand of, I believe these to be poplars. I think that's right. And then right here, there's this one green pine tree just out in the middle of all of it. So I have got my camera lined up. I've got this tree on the right third of the composition, following the rule of thirds. I am going for a 1/4 of a second f/16 ISO 100, and I think this is going to turn out real nice. I may end up bracketing an image here just so I can try to do as much as I can to bring out all the white in the poplars, but let's see what we get. Well, there it is. That's the video in its entirety. I'm pretty sure it turned out a lot longer than what I thought it was going to. So, yeah, sorry I lied. It is what it is, though. Like I said before, I'm not happy with the images. There's the one image, and I'm pretty sure you can guess which one it is, that I am happy with. That's the one that I shot off the bridge. Of course, you know, I actually put music to that one, and I kind of did the dramatic zoom out and everything, so that should let you know that I approved of that particular one. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here, let you get back to doing what you do best, and please, by all means, subscribe down below. Give me a like if you like what you saw here, and please comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Yeah, so whenever you subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. That'll give you a notification from YouTube every time I upload a video. And we'll see you next time.